life. I finally am pain-free. My body said no, not because I wanted to say no.
Just weeks before the 2026 Winter Olympics, Lindsey Vonn crashed during a training run and injured her knee again. She was airlifted off the mountain. For most athletes, that's where the comeback ends. But Lindsey Vonn says she's not done.
What I did today on the hill is not necessarily a great test. I still need to do the downhill training run. But I also know what my knee has felt like with previous injuries in the gym and what it's felt like during all the physical tests. And I can say that I feel a lot better right now than I have in the past. I feel a lot better right now than I did in 2019 for the last World Championships. And I still got a medal there with no LCL and 3 tibial plateau fractures. So, like I said, this is not an unknown for me. I've done this before. I wish I wasn't in this position, but this is where I am, and I will do the best I can.
Vonn retired in 2019 as one of the most accomplished skiers in history. At the time, it felt final. Her body could not take the pain anymore. Now, at 41, she's attempting one of the most unlikely Olympic comebacks that we have ever seen, not to prove anything, but just to choose where her story ends. Four-time Olympian, 3-time Olympic gold medal. You retired in 2019, and now you're coming back in 2026. Why?
I got a partial knee replacement, and when I retired in 2019, I always thought that was it. But with this replacement, it's really given me a new lease on life. I finally am pain-free, and when I retired before, I did so because my body said no, not because I wanted to say no. So now I get to hopefully close the chapter of this amazing story and have one last chance to be in my final Olympics.
This comeback isn't about nostalgia. It's about what she hasn't felt in years, and that's relief. After a partial knee replacement, Vonn says she can ski without chronic pain for the first time since her first injury. For most people, that surgery means just walking normally again. For Lindsey Vonn, it meant going back to skiing nearly 80 miles an hour. At those speeds, her knees absorb more than 3 times her body weight with every single turn. And that's more than a healthy knee could withstand, much less a knee that's been partially replaced. And that's the catch. Pain-free doesn't necessarily mean safe. Because on January 30th, 2026, just 1 week before the Olympic opening ceremonies, the comeback was nearly shattered. A high-speed crash in Crans-Montana, Switzerland left Vonn with a ruptured ACL in her other knee. Another brutal reminder of just how thin the margin really is. But still, she didn't walk away.
I know what my chances were before the crash, and I know my chances aren't the same as it stands today, but I know there's still a chance. And as long as there's a chance, I will try.
Now, from the outside looking in, a comeback like this might feel reckless. Because now it's not just a comeback, she's injured yet again. But Lindsey's point has been, this has never been safe. It's that this time is the first time in a long time that she's felt like herself again on skis.
We have been doing extensive therapy, been consulting with doctors, been in the gym, and today I went skiing. And considering how my knee feels, it feels stable, I feel strong. My knee is not swollen, and with the help of a knee brace, I am confident that I can compete on Sunday.
And for her, the bigger risk is walking away before she's ready, even if the body decides to make that decision again. And just coming back, you are doing something that is unprecedented, doing something that nobody has ever done before. Just being here is enough. But do you feel like you have even more to prove?
I don't feel like I have anything to prove to anyone. This is already a crazy journey. I'm 41 years old. I have a titanium knee. No one's ever done this, so I've already won, but of course I'm competitive and I would love to, put an exclamation point on my career, but no matter what, I'm gonna enjoy it, and I think that's the biggest lesson of this all.
Now let's be clear. This isn't about chasing what her body used to be able to do. It's about choosing who she is now, an athlete competing on her own terms, in her own way. been a huge proponent for women in sports. You're an investor into the NWSL, and you've been around the sport for a very long time. How has it changed, and what more do we need to do for girls and women in sports?
I think there's always more to be done for girls and women in sports. I mean, I have my own foundation, Lindsey Vonn Foundation, and we give scholarships and programs for underserved girls. But I think we're making progress. You know, I think the exposure that people like Caitlin Clark and so many Olympians are giving women, I think is so critical. But it hasn't come overnight.
Lindsey Vonn knows that this is not the ideal path to the Olympics. She knows the risks. She knows the odds. But as long as there's still a chance, she's going to take it. Not for another medal and not for external validation, but for the right for her to decide her own ending. If you've got something to say about this, you better bring it to the comments. Like the video, hit subscribe, and I'll be here next video proving you wrong.